Welcome back to the stock portfolio update videos. Currently, my two stock portfolios sit at a combined value of over $67,000. That's made up of the 40,379 AUD in my stake portfolio and the 26,635 in my Vanguard portfolio. Having a quick look through my portfolio, we will be covering Nvidia's recent earnings, but I just wanted to highlight how my stocks have been performing. Currently, I'm up around 30% in total, and today the market is up basically 1%. I've kept the same holdings. Many of my investments have had a great year so far, and since the last week, the only stock that's really had a downturn is McDonald's. But that is a small position in my portfolio, and I'm looking at potentially exiting, but more on that later. First, I wanted to go through Nvidia's recent earnings report. If you've been following any stocks, or you've just had your head out, you've seen how well Nvidia's done in recent time. The shares have passed $1,000 for the first time on an AI-driven sales surge. Nvidia reported fiscal earnings on Wednesday that beat expectations for sales and earnings, and the stock rose in extended trading over $1,000 per share. Going through, you can see they're highlighting again how strong it's been for Nvidia with the boom in their data centers. Nvidia's quarterly earnings report has become a way for investors to gauge the strength of the AI boom that has transfixed the market in recent months. Its strong results on Wednesday suggest that the demand for AI chips Nvidia makes remains robust, and the CEO Jensen Huang said that the company would see revenue from its next generation AI chips called Blackwell later this year. The stock rose 7% in extended trading. Nvidia also said it was splitting its stock 10-1. Based on the aftermarket move, the shares are poised to reach a fresh high on Thursday, which they since have. The earnings per share came in at $6.12 adjusted versus the $5.59 adjusted, smashing that, and its revenue came in at $26.04 billion versus the $24.65 billion. Nvidia said it expects sales of $28 billion in the current quarter. Wall Street has anticipated earnings per share of $5.95 on sales of $26.61 billion. The chipmaker reported net income for the first quarter and April 28th of $14.88 billion or $5.98 per share, compared with the $2.04 billion or 82 cents in the year earlier. In the past year, Nvidia's sales have skyrocketed as companies such as Google, Microsoft, Meta, and Amazon, and OpenAI buy billions of dollars of Nvidia's graphic processing units, which are advanced and pricey chips required for developing and deploying artificial intelligence applications. The company's largest and most important business is its data centers, which included its AI chips as well, as many of the additional parts need to run big AI servers. Nvidia said its data center category rose 427% from a year ago quarter to $22.6 billion in revenue. Nvidia finance chief Colette Kress said in a statement that it was due to shipments of the company's Hopper graphics processors, which included the company's H100 GPUs. And highlighted this quarter was Meta's announcement of Llama 3, their latest language model, which used 24,000 H100 GPUs, Kress said on the call with analysts. Even though the company reports tripling or more of its business, Huang said that the company's next generation AI GPU called Blackwell could lead to more growth. We will see a lot of Blackwell's revenue this year, the CEO said on a call with analysts, adding the new chip would be in the data centers by the fourth quarter. Nvidia also highlighted strong sales of its networking parts, which are increasingly important as the company builds clusters of tens of thousands of chips that need to be connected. Nvidia said it has $3.2 billion in networking revenue, primarily its infinite band products, which are over 3 times higher sales than the year earlier. Nvidia, before it became a top supplier of the big companies building AI, was primarily known as a company developing hardware for 3D gaming. Gaming revenue was up 18% during the quarter to $2.65 billion, which Nvidia attributed to strong demand. The company also sells chips for cars and chips for advanced graphic workstations, which remain a much smaller part than its data center collecting business. It reported $427 million in professional visualization sales and $329 million in automotive sales. Nvidia said it brought back $7.7 billion worth of shares and paid $98 million in dividends during the quarter. Nvidia said that it's increasingly called a cash dividend from 4 cents per share to 10 cents on a pre-split basis. After the split, the dividend will be a penny a share. If you've been watching the market, Nvidia's had an amazing time for investors. Having a quick look today, the stock is up 2.5% and in the last week is up 12.78. Even if you go a bit longer back and you look at the last year, the stock is up nearly 250%. This is a stock I was looking at around the $500 mark, and I personally couldn't justify its price at the time. Since then, the stock has completely shot up further, and I've missed out on a lot of gains, but I'm not kicking myself for it, because I still don't feel comfortable investing completely at this price. I know a lot of people have drawn comparisons to Cisco, and they've even graphed it next to each other back when there was the dot-com bubble. But it is likely that Nvidia is a bit different of a situation. But it is now, I believe, the third biggest company in the world. And it has had an amazing year. And I think Jensen, the CEO's net worth has shot up from $3 billion to $90 billion or something I saw as well. So if you've been an investor in it, fair play. I mean, I remember even years ago when people were talking about it and I didn't really pay much attention. But if you were investing all the way down here, you've had an amazing return on your investment. This is something I'll keep my eyes on, and I'll keep tracking it, but again, it's probably not something I'm looking to invest in my portfolio at the moment, just because of how quick the stock has shot up. But I still do get exposure to the stock in my S&P holding. So obviously, since it's such a big holding in my Vanguard and my stake S&Ps, I will still get some exposure to Nvidia. Looking through my holdings again, you can see it's been another strong recent turn for the market. So everything has slowly been trading up. If you look at the last year alone, again, it's up 29%. The last week is pretty flat, but in the last month, it's still up 6.3%. So my holdings have been doing good. I think the last portfolio video was around $66,500. So it's up around $500 in the last week, which is nice. But yeah, I'm expecting this can't go on forever. So eventually there will be a downturn again. And hopefully I can set some more cash aside so I can use that as a buying opportunity. Looking at my Vanguard portfolio as well, you can see my international shares ETF VGS is my biggest now at 13,717. And then my VLC, which tracks the Australian large companies, is around 12,800. Again, hopefully I'll be getting some dividends in the upcoming months and I can just reinvest those ones. But it's nice to see this portfolio track up. And I'll go through the Excel part as well. Here you can see a little bit better of how my kind of portfolios are weighted and how everything is looking. Overall, again, Australian portfolio is so simple, it's just 50-50. And then my American portfolio is 50% VOO, and then the remaining 50 is individual stocks, the likes of Microsoft, Apple, and so on so. I do update this every month, but obviously because the month hasn't ended, I'll update it when that happens. But you can already see how much I've gained in just this last month alone. My stake portfolio is already up to 40,000, so that's already up 3,400 or 3,700 almost. And I'm going to be investing more money before the month ends, so that's going to shoot up even more, potentially to even $4,000 just this month. And then my Vanguard portfolio is also up $3,000. So it's been a really, really good month for me investing, and it's been nice to kind of see because obviously I had the downtimes of 2022 and 2023 was great for me. And I've just kind of been investing and the snowball's getting bigger. So obviously my portfolio is not massive. It's still only 67,000 when I compare it to others, but I still remember doing these videos updating when my portfolio was around 20,000, 30,000, 40,000. And I think at the start of this year it was around 50. So it's been nice to kind of shoot that up. That's around almost $17,000 up this year with investments and some of that being gains as well. So I'm going to keep doing these videos, keep tracking it. I'll keep tracking dividends as well at the end of the month. As you can see, they've been getting bigger and bigger, and then hopefully next month I can just keep adding and reinvesting the money. But yeah, that's how the stock portfolios are looking. I did kind of want to go through Nvidia as it's a stock I've highlighted a lot. I've done a lot of shorts on it, like short videos, and it's just not something I've personally invested in, but I always keep my eye on, and that's kind of how the portfolios are looking as well. Hopefully I can break that $70,000 mark middle of next month, or maybe even end of the month, before I go on a holiday. Cheers.